Did the Pentagon delete Lou Elizondo's emails, or is it something even worse? This is fascinating, and in this interview, Lou is opening up about the Pentagon's campaign against him and hiding the evidence that he worked for E.T.s, led E.T.s, and all the details of E.T.s itself. This is massive. Let's get into it. By the way, this is part of a series that I call Parsing Lou, where I take little bits that Lou has said in various interviews and examine them in greater detail. Before I get too far into it, please hit like, please subscribe, share on social media, and as I'm going through it, please comment below and let me know what you think. Okay, let's see what Lou has to say about the Pentagon deleting his emails.
And this case that you're involved with, sorry, this evaluation, the one related to your missing emails. Now, is that an investigation or, because we know that there's an evaluation about looking into the DOD and the Pentagon's, how they're looking at this. This is separate, isn't it?
Well, so there is another issue that we're dealing with right now, and that is the allegations that all my emails have been deleted. And here's why that's problematic, because the stated purpose that they deleted, the predicate for deleting my emails was the fact that they were quote unquote historically not relevant. Now, if you look at the time when I was dealing with, I had two fundamental portfolios, and the first one was one involving the 9/11 trials at Guantanamo Bay. So the individuals who were allegedly responsible for the 9/11 terrorist attacks in our country. And then the other portfolio was the E.T.s portfolio, which I was also running. On one hand, you have what is heralded to be the trial of the century coming up. And then the other one is perhaps the most profound question we faced in our lifetime, and whether or not we are alone, and what was the Pentagon's role in that. I find it very hard to believe that neither one of those topics was ever deemed historically relevant. That just doesn't make sense.
No.
And so, right. And if so, those emails were supposed to be kept into perpetuity, which means they're kept forever and eventually go to the National Archives. And so we have really two possibilities here. A, my emails were deleted, which we've got a significant problem on our hands, because it's either complete incompetence or it was deliberate as part of a cover-up. Okay.
Yeah.
And neither one of those are really good. Or the other option is that they didn't delete my emails, and that either they were misinformed, which doesn't look good for the Pentagon, or once again, that someone is deliberately playing games here and trying to obfuscate, which again doesn't look good. So
no,
it's very sad for me, because at the end of the day, I'm trying to help the Pentagon. I'm trying to help the Department of Defense get out of this situation. They backed themselves into a corner for a lot of years.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make them look foolish, but I can't excuse outright lying to the American people. You can't tell the American people the untruth. You don't have to tell them everything. There's times you can say, hey, no statement, no comment, I can't confirm or deny. But you can't lie to the American people.
No.
There's only very specific circumstances in which our government is allowed to do that, and I'm not going to go into what those exceptions are right now. Yeah. But they're legal exceptions that are legally defined by the letter of the law, and this is not one of those cases. So, what exactly is going on here? And why is it important to now delete my records? On a conversation involving U.A.Ps, right? Unless you're trying to hide something.
Yeah, and was it just emails, or were there files as well that may have contained classified information?
It was all new files. It was the shared folder that had all of the. So this is why I really have a hard time believing they deleted anything, because there's no way you're going to say that the entire Pentagon's UFO files are not historically relevant, right? Guys, come on. I've been born at night, but not last night, right?
Yeah.
So, that's why I think this story is still evolving, and I don't think anybody buys the fact that they've deleted my emails. There's no way in hell, unless they really, 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 really are trying hard to cover their asses.
Absolutely. Emails are one thing, but files as well that pertain to such important information.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of talk recently about speculating how long the emails should have been around until they get deleted, and people were saying up until 2024, and other days.
At a minimum it's 5 years.
Right.
But when you go through the trail of emails, you realize that it wasn't like they just did it yesterday, which would have been like 3.5 year mark. Apparently, they deleted my files like a year ago, possibly a
Wow.
year and a half ago. So, and then of course, there's other categories of information that the work I did is supposed to be kept forever. It never gets destroyed.
Sure. Yeah, that makes more sense to me when you actually think about it. So, well, listen, thank you so much for clarifying that.
Boom! There it is. Lou Elizondo just said there's no way in hell the Pentagon deleted his emails. And by the way, it's not just his emails, it's the entire E.T.s catalog. It's all the files E.T.s compiled over the years. It's the whole repertoire of the known Pentagon program looking into UFOs. I have little doubt there's other programs out there looking into UFOs and maybe even making UFOs. But as far as the known programs, what we have is E.T.s, and now, of course, the U.A.P. task force. But the Pentagon apparently pretended to delete all Lou's files, all the E.T.s files. They pretended to delete that, and then they hid those files and lied about it. Why did they do that? What are they trying to hide? And that's what I think is going on here. At first, when the story first broke about the Pentagon deleting Lou's emails, I assumed they were trying to hide Lou's involvement, and this was a further attempt to smear him and to marginalize him, to pretend that he was not leading E.T.s. But now it appears that even something more sinister is afoot. The Pentagon is actively trying to hide the UFO files entire. So that's what's really going on. The Pentagon does not want to reveal what they have on UFOs. To provide Lou's emails would in effect that would be disclosure in a way. That would be a soft disclosure if you were able to FOIA Lou's emails in his other files. If that were a thing that were possible, then that would be disclosure. And the Pentagon has been fighting disclosure tooth and nail. Now, I don't know if it's actually possible to FOIA Lou's emails. I imagine that it's not. But at any rate, it is possible for those who have access at that level to get access to those files, and they are gone. They are wiped clean. Now, surely they exist somewhere. Someone in the Pentagon who has been suppressing this information and this topic, possibly allied with the breakaway civilization, possibly allied with, the Zodiac group, the Area 51 guys, or not. Possibly there's some independent group that is suppressing this information. But whoever it is seems to be hiding this very critical information. This is all of the U.S. government files on UFOs that are in the known sphere in an admitted program. I don't for a moment think this could be a mistake. The question is, who is doing this and why? I think that Lou probably understands who is doing this, and he probably even understands the why of it, but he can't talk about that. The government hiding information about UFOs is nothing new, but this is very overt. I mean, this is almost like them getting caught. This is them with their hand in the cookie jar getting caught just as they remove the cookies. So this is clear evidence of them suppressing information about this topic. I mean, they have been caught. There should be a public outcry about this, because this is actually pretty huge. Hopefully someday these files will see the light of day, and whatever portion of it that can be viewed by the public will be. I have no idea how much of this stuff is classified and how much of it's not. I would imagine a whole bunch of it is classified, but that a lot of it could be declassified in the way that the original 3 E.T.s TTSA videos were. Lou has triggered one or possibly up to 3 different IG investigations or evaluations into all of this. Some of it is going after the email situation and the missing file situation, and there are other aspects of it as well. So hopefully that will turn up some answers. Now, IG investigations or evaluations can take a long time, so this could be an extended process. Plenty of time for the people that are doing this to hide this information even deeper. I have no doubt there's a lot of intrigue going on in the halls of the Pentagon. Even now, a lot of palace intrigue happening around this issue, and the various factions are pitted against each other, and who knows who will come out on top. We know who has historically come out on top, but there is a tsunami of public pressure bolstering the side of disclosure, and that has got to be helping. I mean, even Congress is now, or a lot of Congress, is on the side of disclosure. All we can do is hope the White Hats win out and put as much pressure as we can on our politicians to drive this topic forward. And then one day, possibly Lou's files and E.T.s files will see the light of day, and we will see the truth about what the Pentagon has compiled on UFOs. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Also, comment below and let me know what you think. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and if you do, the bell next to it to be notified of future videos. Until next time, Cosmic Road out.